Hi, everybody. Woo-hoo. I just want to see if everybody can see and hear me a-okay here first. So if you guys can hear me okay and see me okay, give me a shout out there on the chat bar so that way we're all kind of on the same page. Oh, let me move this over. I see my dog knocked over my piggy. So just moving some stuff around here. La, 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 la. All righty. So can everybody hear me okay? Sounding good? See and hear. Yay! I'm not blind. Okay. So if you guys have ever entertained the idea of having me do the Q&A, what this real talk is all about is more people want me to do kind of more readings, but not. And so what this is going to be about is pretty much I'm just going to be answering questions to the best that I can. But a lot of this is talking about, I'm going to go a little bit more in depth, I guess is what I'm trying to say, is that you can't sit there and say, I'm having problems with blah, blah, blah. Well, we're going to talk about where that's coming from. And so that way, if I'm helping you heal, I'm helping someone else heal on this as well. So that's kind of the premise of me doing this. And if you've never been to one of my workshops, a lot of times people ask me sometimes a personal question, and then when I answer it, everybody else is looking around going, oh yeah, well, my mom has that same issue too. I never thought about it in that direction or that term. So that's kind of what this real talk's all about. So here's the deal, guys, is if you have little kids listening, you may want to put the earphones in, maybe dial down the volume a little bit, because I have a potty mouth, let's be real. So grab your cocktail, let's just have a little chat and we'll kind of go from there. But like I said, this is going to be pretty interactive where if you guys have questions, just kind of start shouting them out. I did stage my house, but there's a lot of activity going on. So I'm like, that's normal or natural when I'm getting ready to talk to spirit and stuff like that. So I'm like, it's normal for me, but I forget that it's not normal for you guys. So yeah. But like I said, if you guys have questions, go ahead and start. So there is some echo. I am working on, I'm going to be doing a live crystal sale on Sunday, and I purchased a new microphone. So because everybody's been kind of, the echo or the background noise or whatever is just really kind of hard for people to hear. So I just want to let everybody know that I leveled up and I bought myself a brand new microphone, so it's all good. So hopefully that's going to help you, and that's a good. Thank you for letting me know that. But like I said, we're having some growing pains, so that's why I had to get a microphone, because the person that helps me with my web design and stuff like that was mentioning to me that when you go back and listen, it's difficult to hear. So same with my live, like when I'm doing the webinars on my like social, not my social media, but my workshops as well. So. Hello from Kansas City. So Kansas City, it looks like I'm actually going back to Kansas City February 1st. I'm just trying to find the venue. So yay! So I'll be doing all that good stuff. So and then I'll be in Des Moines, it looks like February 29th, and then Kearney in March. So I'm getting ready to kind of get all my stuff. So Columbus, I'm actually coming back to Columbus, I think here pretty soon, like November, I think, if I remember right. So the tickets are on sale for all that. So if you guys have never been to a live audience reading, what that is just, I'm just talking to dead people on stage and talking to your loved ones and doing all kinds of stuff. So, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. But yeah, I'm so excited. So thanks for all joining up here, guys. I really appreciate it. There's that's ringing my thing. So everybody's wanting me to come to Missouri. I'm coming, like I said, the closest I'm coming is Kansas City. I did look at Independence. That was another place that I was looking at too. So I see Debbie's like, from Independence. I'm like, well, hello. So, but yeah, those are a lot of, like I said, it's difficult because right now I'm still raising, 3 teenagers. So they have to kind of take the main precedence right now. But so trying to work on that. It's all good. Rita's asking if she can ask any questions about current relationships or anything like that. Absolutely. Like I said, have at it. Again, if you guys have little kids, I got a potty now. So you may want to like turn down the volume or get your earphones on. Somebody's asking how they can prepare for a live reading. You know what? There really isn't a way. All I can just tell you is show up, because your loved ones are going to show up too. And a lot of times they just kind of, I might talk to your cousin first, but then get a hold of your mother. So every live audience reading really is different. So the best way to prepare is just to show up and ask your loved ones to show up too. So that's honestly the best one. So, but yeah. Been struggling with sleep, wake up almost every night at 1:30, wait for at least an hour. Any insight? Bridget, I would tell you that two things. One, if you're going through a spiritual awakening, which most of you are, that's why you're attending here, that's pretty normal. It's very actually common. So you want to make sure to ground down. Grounding down means get your ass outside. It's going to be cold outside. So the second best thing to do is get some black rocks or red rocks, those count too, and go downstairs into a basement and just kind of chill there for a little bit. Grounding helps to kind of not shut down, but close down some of these upper chakras. So that way you're a little bit more logical, grounded, and balanced and centered. So you are able to sleep. A lot of times I tell people a lot of times they want to be able to meditate before they sleep. That's another excellent way. I'm all for if you're meditating and then you fall asleep meditating and you go to bed, fine, who cares? It's totally fine. So it's not a bad thing. Like I said, meditation, whether you fall asleep or not, I don't give a shit. It still counts. So my daughter says she can see ghosts. She says that she then looks away, looks back, and they're gone. She's 9, refuses to sleep with the lights off. Is she afraid to see things? Kayla, yeah, I was 9 years old and I could see stuff too. So make sure that they have let them do their thing for the bed. So meaning that before they go to bed, they're going to have the lights on. They're going to have, the closet closed. They're going to have a certain blanket a certain way. It's like they're going to have a damn routine just to get to bed. Let her do her routine, but also understand. And I tell this to a lot of parents that have intuitive children. Your children are in charge of spirit. Spirit is not in control of children. So you empower your child and you tell that child, you tell spirit to go away. If it's not comfortable, tell them to get the hell out of there. So, and then they can always ask for angels to come by and take care of that as well. So, and I don't care what race, religion you're in, everybody knows angels. So you ask for angels to come by and take care of that. They always will, every time. So that's why I'm like, that's a big one when it comes to kids. I want to empower children to let them know spirit doesn't control them. They control spirit, not the other way around. So how can I do better to bring companionship or love into my life? Cassandra, the biggest thing I can tell you is you work on you. So it never fails. The minute you start working on your goals, ambitions, and dreams, all of a sudden somebody comes by and you're like, now's not the time for me to fall in love, but sure as hell, somebody's going to come by. So the best thing I can tell you is work on you. Work on you and understand that law of attraction is still at play. So if you're focusing in on negative past relationships, you're going to get another negative relationship just like you had in the past. Instead, focus in on the type of person that you want to bring to you. Instead of looking for a needle in a haystack, stand there like a damn magnet and attract it to you. It's a lot easier that way. So the biggest thing I can tell you is stay busy, but act as a magnet for all that stuff to come back to you. All right? Okay. So Lily is like, should I go to school or get a job? You know what, Lily? Totally up to you. But I always tell people when it comes to school or job, just do something that you enjoy doing. If it's fun, go do it. If it's a job because of the money, you're going to freaking hate it. Don't do it. So I always sit people down and ask them, what would be the fun job? Screw money, screw education, screw all of that. What would you want to do? And they always say, I want to do this, but, and I'm going to call them out in the butt because the butt's a damn excuse. That's what it is. So then we're going to talk about how we can make this happen. So that's a big one for me that I'm not a big proponent in excuses. I'm going to call you out on it. We're going to move forward. That's what we do. So, okay. Everybody's seeing 11:11. Everybody wants to talk about this 11:11. Okay. When you begin to go through a spiritual awakening, it's basically Spirit's way of letting you know, hello, you are in tune with us now. You are now enlightened. You're on the light side. So you're going to see 11:11 a lot the first time it happens. Then you'll start to see 3:33, 7:77, and then pretty soon you're going to start seeing the mix-up like 3:11, 9:11, 6:11. So 1, 3, 6, 9, 12 are highly spiritual numbers. So those are the numbers that you're usually going to see right off the bat, okay? Then you're going to start to see some other numbers, all righty? So that's why I'm like, the biggest thing is understand that when you see 1111, that's spirit's way of telling you what you are thinking is what you are creating. So if you're focusing in, if you're a negative whiny bitch, you're gonna get more negative whiny things to bitch about. Okay. If you're a happy positive person, you're gonna get more things to be happy and positive about. Your thoughts or your emotions, because your emotions are an indicator of what you're thinking, is how you begin to set the pace for what you want in your life. So again, if you're negative and whiny and bitchy, you're going to get more negative, whiny and bitchy things. And a lot of people are like, well, I don't know how I'm thinking or what I'm thinking. Again, how do you feel? Okay, your emotions are the indicator of what's in your head. So the biggest thing I can tell you is you control your mind. The only way to control your mind is through meditation. So meditation is always the baseline foundation when it comes to Psychic Abilities 101, really is. So that's one of my biggest thing I can tell you is I want you meditating. So, and I'm going to tell you what, here's the deal. If you're just starting to see those 1111s, meditation is going to be a bitch. It's going to piss you off. Oh, it's going to piss you off because you're going to be like, I'm going to sit here for 10 minutes. I'm trying to meditate. And what's going to happen is that you're barely going to be able to sit there for the full 10 minutes, let alone trying to control your thoughts. Ain't going to happen. Okay. Your thoughts will not shut down. So you got to train the chipmunk on cocaine that's in your brain to sit down and shut the hell up. Because when you first do it, it ain't going to happen. The second time you do it, it ain't going to happen. It takes practice and doing it over and over and over. It's not easy. Okay. It's not easy. I have, and for me being adult ADHD, it was difficult for me to just sit there for damn 10 minutes, let alone try to meditate. So, but the best thing I can do is to tell you, I want you to learn how to meditate because that's how you control your thoughts. Therefore, then you control your reality past that point. Okay. All right. Somebody's asking, Jay is asking, the brother passed some years ago. I just need to know if he's okay. I guarantee you he is. Guarantee you he is. The biggest thing I can tell you, Jay, is you ask your brother specifically, give me some signs. And what's going to happen is that you'll see something within 24 hours that will remind you of your brother. That's a sign right there. That in itself is the sign. That's the shit I want you to pay attention to. You ask for a sign, they're going to do it. Now, when you get that sign, you acknowledge it. But I got it. Thank you. Thank you. The minute you say thank you, what that does is opens up the line of communication between you and your bro even more. And the more lines of communication, the more signs you see, the more then you have the faith knowing that he's around you. It's going to be all good. All right. So hopefully that one helps you out a little bit. I made a huge choice in my love life recently. Was it the correct choice to walk away, Sarah? I will tell you, not only yes, but hell yes. How about that? So, like I said, nobody needs to be dating bipolar narcissists. So you're an empath. That's narcissist and empath are like peanut butter and jelly. One's a giver, one's a taker. They're toxic. Very toxic. The narcissist is the taker. The empath is the giver. There is no giving with the narcissist because it's all about them. So it's never about anybody else. It's always about them. Therefore, do I think that you made the right decision? Hell yeah. All right. My current is my current partner my husband, or should I run? And here's the deal, and a lot of people are going to ask these questions, and I'm going to tell you something right off the bat, okay? If somebody comes to me and says, should I go or should I stay? I'm going to tell you, go. You want to know why? The only reason why you're staying is for dumb-ass excuses and for hope that the other person is going to change so you can be happy. That's a hell no in my book. So that's no. If you were the right person, you wouldn't question it in the first place. You wouldn't. So I'm going to tell you, if you're coming to me with a question, should I leave so-and-so? I'm going to tell you yes every time. And then I'm going to point out the reasons why you should. So because again, if you truly loved him, it wouldn't be a question. It's no different than somebody coming up to me and saying, should I stay with my husband or my boyfriend? I'm going to say the boyfriend. Why? Because if you really loved your husband, you wouldn't have cheated in the first place. So that's part of that advice part that I get. And that's part of why I'm doing this real talk, because I want to give you guys that advice and let you know, if you come in here for a reading, I'm going to call you out on your shit. That's what I do. But I'm going to help rebuild you past that point. I'm not going to just be like, oh, well, here's your problem. Well, of course, everybody's got problems. We're going to talk about that and how to fix it, okay? So, all right. What is the highest and strongest connection, soulmate or twin flame? Does everybody find that person in their lifetime? No, Dawn, they don't. Not everyone in this lifetime is going to find a soulmate. Not everyone in this lifetime will find a twin flame. I will tell you the twin flame thing. Let me talk about this twin flame thing because this pisses me off. So twin flame thing, it's a rare bird. It's a rare bird, okay? The reason why it's just now coming out in terminology is because when two people that are highly intuitive come together to serve humanity, that's a twin flame. They also have the same birthday, hair color, likes, dislikes. They were raised the same way. That's a twin flame. A soulmate is somebody similar to that, but you're born differently, you have your own differences, but you live peacefully within a relationship, whether that's friends, family, partnership. So most 99.5% of the relationships are soulmate relationships, not twin flames, okay? No, everybody wants that magical twin flame shit. Guess what? You're probably not going to get it this lifetime. I'm going to lower your expectations, going to get real with you. That doesn't happen in this life. It's a rare, rare bird. And I'm going to tell you, most of them are going to be from our children. So they're going to be two intuitive people coming together, having children, those two children coming together. Then that's a twin flame relationship. Most likely, that's what it's going to happen. Okay? So, oh, yeah, soulmates, we do find soulmates. You can have a best friend as a soulmate. I got a couple of them, absolutely, yes. So, but we'll find their soulmate in this lifetime, especially if you're intuitive or enlightened. If you're enlightened, you will find a soulmate. So don't sweat it, all right? It's the right time. It's got to be divine timing. It can't be your timing on your timeline. It doesn't work that way. So, but you're going to learn lessons throughout the process until you do find that soulmate relationship, all right? So, does having young children like toddlers slow progression of spiritual gifts? I feel my focus is more on my toddlers, so moving along slower. Shannon, that's true. And I'll tell you why. Under the age of 5, babies need their mommies. So a lot of times mom's intuition is spot freaking on. However, it does slow us down a little bit because we're having to child rear. That's our job as a mother. So yes, it does kind of go down a little bit, although mom's intuition does go up. So it's kind of a weird trade-off. But you'll be able to kind of get back into those abilities after the kids in school and you have a better routine. So, all right. It's a good question, Shannon. Winona Sean, my 8th grader is OCD about his grades. How can I help him? That means to tell me that somewhere in his brain he's got a perfectionism issue and somebody puts undue pressure on that child to be perfect. Or someone in the family is also a perfectionist and teaching him how to be perfect. Children are only adapting to what parents show them. So most unlikely he's being taught how to be perfect. Or there's a negative response that if he does something bad, then he's going to be punished. 9 times out of 10, that's it. But usually it's because the parent is a perfectionist and the child has learned that perfectionism issue from the parent. So you want to fix the child, fix the perfectionism issue within yourself. Then you fix the child. All right? Okay. Teresa's asking, I'm trying to get a different job, getting frustrated, always turned down. How do I change that? Teresa, that means to tell me that you're looking in the wrong place. You think you need this certain job. That means to tell me that certain subject of job is not what you should be doing. You need to find something completely different and try that out instead. So I'm just telling you that you're looking in the wrong direction. That's why you're getting denied. Closed doors is Spirit's way of saying, don't go there. Don't go there. So that's their way of protecting you. So don't take it as a bad thing. They're doing it to protect you, especially from unenlightened people. Okay. Is there anything I can do to lift the vibe of my work environment? You know, Dominique, that's a really good one. Sage spray, we sell that at Awakenings. So sage spray is awesome. Black tourmaline is really good too. So those two in itself is really going to help. But ultimately, the best bet to help your workplace is I want you to vibe high. Vibe high because that will in turn to get everybody else to vibe high as well. So again, if you're vibing high, it's going to trip other people. Otherwise, if they're unenlightened and they're not vibing high, they're going to quit. Negative ones will quit because cockroaches can't stand it when somebody has their beacon on really, really bright. So usually they quit. All right. Okay. Oh my gosh. Trisha, I just started my job as a bus driver and then a job in the elementary school and love both. Is this my path? Yes. I would tell you absolutely yes. Most intuitive people work within schools, in hospitals, clinics. They're in sales, creativity, animals, plants, things like that. There's a few others, don't get me wrong. So there's more and more coming in, but generally speaking, that's where they're at. Denise, I'm working on strengthening my gifts. Would you recommend mediumship classes before healing classes? You know, I would tell you, Denise, do the healing ones first for you, because once you understand how energy works, the mediumship will come in right after it. So I tell you, do the healing classes first, because that's a little bit lower level than the mediumship. Do that one. Okay. What's the best way to get back into my touch with spirituality? I feel disconnected. I used to be connected. Now I feel so disconnected. Erica, here's the deal with this one. If you ever feel disconnected from spirit, first of all, you're never disconnected. Ever, never, ever, ever. You're just kind of clouded over because your reality must take precedence over your spirituality, meaning that you fix the damn drama in your life, then you can connect back into spirituality. Remember, we're all here to learn lessons, and the lessons will take precedence over the spirituality aspect sometimes. So you will never be tapped out. Please don't ever feel like you're tapped out. You're not. You're just clouded over because you've got drama and shit that you need to change in your real life. Then you'll be able to get tapped back in. Cool. Okay. I'm like getting bombarded. Hang on. Okay. Jeremy and Ashley, I keep having different passionate ideas of careers. I'd like to start in my small town. How do I decide what the right path is? I would tell you, wait. And the reason why is because when the life purpose stuff hits you, it will hit you like a freaking lightning bolt. You will know it. There's no mistaking. You will know it. When it hits you like a lightning bolt, you're like, I know what to do. I know how to do it, when to do it, what to do. So the biggest thing I can tell you is just wait a little bit more until you get more clarity. And once it hits you, you're gone. You're going to figure it out really quick. So, okay. Gina, my 4-year-old can't stand to be away from me, not even in the next room, crying if left at school, almost anywhere, even with people she knows and loves. That's a tough one. You know, Gina, the biggest thing I want you to do, and I know this sounds really kind of weird, I want you to get a piece of selenite, and I just want you to cut the cord to the child once in a while. So that child stands there kind of alone a little bit and feels okay being alone. I want you to reassure the child that everything's going to be okay. But remember, we never reward bad behavior when it comes to children. So if she's going to throw an absolute temper tantrum shit fit, you do not pick her up and reward bad behavior for that. Because then she understands and learns that that's acceptable to get what she wants. So never reward bad behavior. So, but the biggest thing is, like I said, try to cut some more cords so that way he or she's just a little bit more independent, okay? All right, okay. 2-year-old boy picks on 5-year-old daughter. Chelsea, this is one that if he is, and 2-year-olds are naughty, they just are, but he's angry. And if he's angry, if a boy is angry, we have to look at the dad. So I need to know how the relationship or where the dad is at, because this boy needs his father. So that's the one that's really going to help change that behavior, okay? So I need to know where dad is at, and if dad isn't around, then we need grandpa there, or we need a brother, somebody there to kind of help ground them down a little bit. So hopefully that one helps. June, will next year be a good time for me to move to Colorado? Actually, yes, especially April and May. Yes, it is. Dad is here, not 100% present though. That's the problem. So that's why I'm saying is that if your 2-year-old is acting up, if that child is acting up, it's because dad is not present. And the reason why he's acting out is because he's doing it for dad's individual attention. So dad needs individual attention with his son. That will then correct the behavior. So, all righty, cool. Having homework battles with my kids. How do I get them to care about passing their classes? Holy shit, when you figure that one out, let me know. But honestly, you have to do it in terms of real life. It's kind of like me with my daughter. I'm like, you can't turn in a late homework assignment because if you turn in a late payment with your electricity, you ain't gonna have no lights. So I really try to put it in terms of real life stuff. And I'm always harping to my kids, you know, my job is to love you, but prepare you for real world shit. I'm here to prepare you for the real world. So that homework assignments and things like that are just as important as turning in your bills, paying for your car payment, making sure that you go to the grocery store, making sure you bathe. So simple things like that. Again, we're trying to get them ready for real world. We don't want to enable them so they need to stay home with mommy. So our job is to get them out of the house. John, will I move to Arizona next year? Yes. And the sooner you move, the happier you're going to be. Everything here in Nebraska is done. Tie it up, get the hell out of here. Billy, is friendship coming my way? It will, especially after June 15th. So after June 15th, yes. I need to make money from home. Any ideas on what I'd be passionate about? You know, Christy, here's the deal. You're naturally creative. Start making shit up and sticking it on Etsy. I know that sounds cliche, but you're actually really good at that, and Pinterest. So there's something in there with that. Okay. I've worked in hospice for a few years. I feel like I'm meant to do this, but I have an urge to expand. I'm very torn. Kayla, here's the deal with this one. I love you in hospice. Stay in hospice. In the meantime, on your off day or in the afternoon, that's when I want you to work on expanding, okay? So we have to have the day job because we got to eat and pay bills, all right? So, but the nighttime, the evening time is when we want to work on expanding, all righty? So I will say yes to that, but it's got to be kind of like both have to be done at the same time, which just means that you got to put in some extra effort. So, but you'll do fine. Okay. How do you help with addictive behaviors, specifically eating disorders? Rosa, I will tell you, if it's a girl, then that means to tell me that they have a father abandonment issue, and the only saving grace for those children would be their father. So I'm going to tell you, the more time dad can come around, that's really going to help with stuff. So the biggest thing is eating disorders is a lack of self-confidence and a lack of self-worth, and they want to try to control things, and that always boils back to their father. So we have to talk about the dad in that one, and he needs to come in as a saving grace. So, been struggling for infertility for 6 years, taking recommendations you said in the past, and getting pregnant, having a baby in the future. La, 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 la. Yes, Betsy, especially June, no, JF, January, February, March. So yes, you're just, this isn't your year. Just wait, next year's a better year. Naj 2400. I'm currently in school for my RN, and will I be done in February, but I'm burnt out. Hang in there. Hang in there. In the meantime, I want short-term goals, because you know long-term goals, but I'm talking short-term goals here. So I want more short-term goals with you to be able for you to focus in on the fun stuff, not just the long-term shit. So hang in there, okay? Essie Chadwell, how can I tell if it's the right time to start dating again? If you're even asking the question, you're ready. You're just still a little gun shy, but you're ready. Male authority figures make me feel uncomfortable. Is this a father issue? Dominique, absolutely yes. Or it could be one of two things here. One, it could be a father issue. The other one could be a possible past life impression bleeding into this life. So we may have had some issues in the previous life too. But if we do have dad issues in this life and you have issues with male authority, then yes, that's where it's going to boil down to. Usually it's one of two things. Okay, good questions, guys. These are great questions. All right, let me keep going. Did that one. Any other questions? Keep them coming. My 3-year-old is an extremely picky eater. How can I get him to try new foods? He's type 1 diabetic, so the eat it or starve method won't work. I agree. That method, I'm sorry, that method doesn't usually work. Here's the deal. 3-year-olds at this point are really good about eating fresh fruits and vegetables. They're actually better at it than you think. Your job is just to kind of put it out there and let them nitpick. So a lot of times a 3-year-old that's also diabetic will be a nitpicky eater anyway. But some of these kids are highly sensitive, and a lot of it is a texture issue. It's not so much a taste, it's a texture issue in the mouth. My son is that way. So he ate mac and cheese for I don't know freaking how long. But if we go out to eat, I mean the kid's 14. So even if we go eat now, he will ask, he's like, so your mac and cheese, is it like dry or is it creamy? And I'm like, oh my God, it's mac and cheese. But for him, it matters because it's a texture thing. So see if it's a texture thing or if it's a flavor thing. Most unlikely, it's a texture thing. So, but just like I said, biggest thing for him is give him a variety of fruits and vegetables. You'll be surprised at how much they eat fruits and vegetables, like shocked actually. So not so much on meat. They're not big meat eaters. I don't know why. They're usually, as time goes on, they're just not big meat eaters. But lots of fresh fruits and veggies, they're usually pretty happy with that. So, Casey, how do I feel more energized? So a big one with that one, I know this sounds weird, sunlight, that, and a lot of times, making sure that work is work, home is home. Keep that shit separate. Don't bleed that stuff into the house. You want to keep that separate as much as you possibly can. And then make sure that your nutrition is good. So what I mean by that is a lot of times when we get low on the vitamin Bs, the vitamin Ds, things like that, we do have the tendency to get pretty tired. But again, when winter comes along and fall like this, people naturally hibernate. So I always tell people, if you need to take a nap, especially in the wintertime. It's pretty normal for our bodies just to kind of chill like that. But double check your diet. Make sure, like I said, you have enough vitamins, minerals, things like that, because 9 times out of 10, that's an issue, and or could be a thyroid issue too. So, but the biggest thing is sunlight. There's certain crystals that'll also help you keep energized, such as like citrine, brecciated jasper, poppy jasper. Those things are like carnelians are like they're caffeinators, so they're kind of the uppers of crystals. So those are always easy ones too. So the more downers are like blue lace agate, amethyst. They're just more keep you woo-saw. So there's uppers and downers, I guess, when it comes to crystals. So, and just so I mentioned this, Saturday from 2 to 4 Central Time, I'm going to be doing a live crystal sale on this channel. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel, give me a thumbs up, all that stuff. Okay. Bethany's asking, so should I move forward and will I be better off? Yes and yes. I know that sounds pretty simple, but it's true. That's like, yes, you'll be better off. I think, honestly, the number one reason why people don't leave when they know they need to leave is 2 reasons: lack of financial support, or they're scared to death to be alone. That's really what it boils down to. So they're just fine being in a dysfunctional, shitty relationship instead of actually getting out of it, taking a chance to be able to find a soulmate. So I always tell people, I'm lucky enough to be able to have enough balls to leave. So, but at the same time, I have never been alone. I've always had spirit around me. So loneliness is a difficult emotion for me because I don't understand it very well because I've always been able to talk to dead people, but that's just my issue. Okay. Wendy, is it normal to get headaches or feel sick if you go to antique shops and museums? There are 3 places Kelly hates to go. Hospitals are number 1. Antique malls and shops are number 2. And psych wards are number 3. And the reason why is because that energy is freaking palpable. So I always fair warn people, if you're going to go into a haunted location, make sure that you protect yourself. So otherwise, the next day, especially after going to an antique mall, we call it a ghost hangover. It's legit a thing. So where you are completely exhausted the next day and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even go out. But we call that a ghost hangover because it literally messes with your chakra system, your auric field, and it drains you dry. So salt baths, especially sea salt baths, are going to help to recharge your batteries. So, but yeah, that's pretty common. That's why I don't do antique malls. So I'm like, they do attach. There are not, it's more residual energy, but you sell grandma's buffet table, she gonna be pissed, okay? So especially if she said that it was supposed to go to somebody. So that energy then stays in that thing. So saging any antiques that you get in your house, I would highly suggest. So let alone saging every new moon. You want to do that anyway, especially with the holidays coming and Thanksgiving. Oh Lord, sage. So don't just put it on your turkey, use it. All right. I've been so frustrated this week in the surface level. Okay, Pam, I'm explaining something for this week. I don't know if you guys noticed yesterday especially, but yesterday and Monday were spicy. And I mean, it was just like everybody under the surface was seething. I had more crazy shit happen yesterday in my store than I have in a long time. Like we're talking, this is mental health stuff too, guys. If you know somebody that mental health, I really want you to check in on them because this week has been a son of a bitch. So that's like, if somebody's going to commit suicide, it's going to happen this week. No joke. No joke. So check in on your peeps, really. But this week has been real spicy. The way that the sun is sitting and it's squared up with the moon and we're in retrograde is just really spicy. This shit is not going to let up until almost probably about Thanksgiving is when it's finally going to start letting up. So just hang in there, guys, really. But like I said, try to just work is work, home is home, keep silent, just chill. All right. Pete, how do I live my life from a space that's not ego? Ooh, that's hard because I see things spiritually speaking. I really do. I see a lot of things spiritual all the time. However, I'm still human. So letting go of ego it does serve a purpose as a human. It does serve a purpose. But you want to be more spiritually minded and react more spiritual besides human. So, but understand the ego, we're not going to eliminate the ego. We need it. Back in the day when we were freaking caveman, we needed to have that little bit of ego to keep us safe, especially if a bear cat walked in. So, or a bear or a lion or something like that, a bear cat, oh my God. So the biggest thing is just understand that our ego does serve a purpose. So we don't want to squash it completely, but we just want to live our life more spiritually based as a spirit, not a human. So, which is not easy to do. But the more you meditate, the more practice your spirituality, the more you become non-reactive to situations, the better you're going to be. So that's a good question. Michelle, I have a few ideas for some creative spiritual things I can do for money. I'm creating to manifest the money to invest in materials, but that's not happening. Michelle, I'm going to tell you, you're manifesting wrong. So what I want you to do is either manifest for money or manifest for the things. But the minute you try to manifest, say, okay, I want this money so I can do this with it, it never works. Either you manifest money or you manifest a thing. You don't do both. Easiest way to manifest, especially money, because people always ask me this all the time. What I want you to do is to focus in on for 7 seconds a day. That's it, 7 seconds a day. I want you to imagine what it's like to have money in your bank with no debt. That's how you manifest money. What does it look like in your bank account? What do those $100 bills feel like? What do they smell like? What does a check with your name look like on it? 7 seconds a day will be able to then begin manifesting money for you. But you cannot go, I want to manifest money so I can buy this. No, I want to manifest money. 7 seconds. I want this. That's how you then begin to do it, okay? So you can't do two things just to pay for one. It's no different than saying, I'm going to be a multimillionaire because I'm going to win the lottery. You're putting terms on how you're going to win the money. How about if you just maybe happen to write a best-selling novel, instead of getting $10 million, you get $250 million. So that's what I'm saying, is that don't put a term on how you're going to get it. Let your spirit guides do their job. Their job is to guide. Your job is to know what it is that you want and focus in on that and be happy. That's it. That's it. It's simple. That's simple. So, Sheila, what is the meaning behind sexual dysfunction? Erectile dysfunction for males, others for females. How is it solved? You have to go back to the trauma. Something in that person's life caused trauma for that then to happen. For a female, it'd be a traumatic experience with the father. For a male, it's a traumatic experience for the mother. So you have to look at the trauma response. Or they could have been possibly sexually molested and or raped, and that again is traumatic. So you deal with the trauma, fix the problem. So everybody always wants to fix the problem with drugs, alcohol, whatever it is. Fix the trauma, then you're not going to have to use drugs and alcohol to cope with trauma. You've dealt with it, you've owned it, you let it go, forgive. So, and that requires work. I'm not saying that it's just that simple. Hell no, it's not. Sometimes it takes lifetimes. But at the same time, your job is to fix your reality so that way you're feeling better and not having to use coping mechanisms like drugs and alcohol. All right? Long-term job taking a toll on me physically, and I think it's time to move on. Not sure what to do. Will I be able to find something different that I like? Yes, Meredith, and I would tell you do it ASAP. So don't let your loyalty keep you somewhere where it don't belong. So people, back in the day, loyalty meant something. Nowadays, it doesn't mean jack shit in corporate America. So do not waste your damn time, energy, or effort, especially your happiness, going to a job that is sucking you dry. Get out. Anything is better than what you're doing. So, but a lot of people don't think, they're scared to even apply. I'm like, apply. What's the worst that they're going to do? Say no? Okay, we find something else. So that's why I'm like, I will tell you not only yes, but hell yes. Get the hell out. My husband and I have been trying to get pregnant 11 years now, wondering if we're wasting our time. Christina, I would tell you the biggest thing is that I want you to work on your issue when it comes to your biological father. So that means to tell me that your dad was probably a workaholic. And most likely you married somebody just like him. So we got to deal with that lack of love. And whether that's physical hugs or sitting down and chatting and being real, whatever that might be, everybody has their own way. But I'm going to tell you, let's start with fixing the issue that you have with your biological father. And it's a subconscious issue. It's not necessarily a realist, like an issue that comes to your brain or that you can think of. A lot of times it's because they're a workaholic and they just weren't there for you emotionally speaking. Okay. How can I learn more about my spirit guides? Number one, I want you to learn how to meditate. Number two, you ask them to show up. Well, here's what's great about spirit guides. They understand human stupidity and doubt. What I mean by that is when I was like, all right, God, if these spirit guides are real, I want you to prove it. I want to see a purple feather. Nothing happened. 3 days later, my daughter came up to me and said, hey, Mom, I got this for you. And she was maybe like 7, and it was a purple feather. I about fell out my damn chair. So the reason why I know they are there and what they do is because I've asked them to prove it, and they always do every single time. So I always tell people, you don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe me. Ask them to show you, and they will. And number two, ask them to show up in your dreams, because when you see them in your dreams, you're going to be like, I know you, but I don't know you. But man, you look real familiar to me. Why do I think I know you? That's going to be your spirit guide. So then you can ask them to come on in and start chatting with you. So that's how we develop that line of communication. But also, I want you to make sure that you're paying attention to random thoughts too. So if a lot of times you're like taking a shower, weird shit always happens in the shower, or when you're driving, because you're meditating. That's what you're doing. So understand that I want you to kind of pay attention to stuff like that. So if you're like, did I just have a conversation with myself? No, you didn't. You just had a conversation with your spirit guides, because your spirit guides are going to come in and talk to you in your own voice, in your own head. If they started coming in their voice in your head, it would freak you the hell out. That's why they don't do it. They do it subtly. They don't do it like, oh, I'm here, what do you want to talk about? I would love for them to do that, but it'd freak everybody out. So that's why they don't do it. They will never put fear into a situation. Spirit guides don't do that. So, la 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 la. Old nursing home being torn down behind her house, possibly because yeah, Corey, she's asking if they're going to tear down an old nursing home if their house could be a lot more active. Yeah, it could be. So what I want you to do is get some black tourmaline, put them in 4 corners of your home, okay? So that's really going to be able to help you to kind of protect the home a little bit. And then after they demolish it, I want you to make sure to sage the house too, just to kind of give you some extra protection. So nursing homes are extremely difficult for me to go into, just like hospitals, because there's a lot of dead people walking around and they just like, oh, you can see me. I'm like, oh God, go away. So, but yeah, hospitals are not my favorite, neither nursing homes. Nursing homes make me sad. I cry every time I go in one. So, okay. No, Shannon, you're not doing anything wrong. Keep asking. Emily's asking help with anxiety and addiction. Emily, just like I was saying before, I want you to work on the trauma. You work on your trauma. Work on the issue when it comes between you and your father. So I'm going to tell you that you probably have an issue when it comes to dad, and I want you to be real. And a lot of adults, I'm finding this out, a lot of adults like to, they're still children when it comes to their parents in their mind. And I'm like, you're 35 years old. Sit your dad down. Speak your damn truth. Speak your truth. If he was a shitty father, tell him he was a shitty father. Get it out. Get the venom out. Don't expect him to respond at all. You don't have any expectations on how this person's going to do it. But speak your truth. You start speaking your truth, you're going to see how quickly things begin to heal. So it wasn't until I started speaking my own truth and apologizing for shit that I've done that things really started to change for me. So the biggest thing I can tell you, speak your damn truth, especially when it comes to your parents. Now, there's a way to say it nice, and there's a way to be a snot rag about it. Of course, we're going to go in nice, but at the same time, speak your truth, speak with confidence, and leave it at the table. Leave it there, because what happens is once you get it out, it's almost like this huge brick is off your shoulders, and you can finally then begin to heal. But even as adults, when it comes to our parents, we still think that we're kids. You're not, you're an adult. So speak to them like an adult. And if they choose to react childish, that's on them. Don't play the game. Don't play the game. You react and respond calmly, confidently, and then walk on out because you spoke your truth. So, and if you don't feel confrontational like that, what I tell people is write a note. And if you can't do that because they're crossed over, write it down, speak your truth, and an old conjure trick, burn it. Burn it. So therefore, it's done, said, and it's all good, okay? Because remember, you picked your parents. It's your responsibility to figure out why you picked them and what they truly taught you because of who they are. Remember, they can't see things from your perspective, but you can see things from their perspective. That's where the forgiveness can then start. So, but forgiveness is big. Forgiveness is big. So that's what I'm going to tell you. Hopefully that kind of helps out everybody, okay? The black stone is called black tourmaline. So black tourmaline is a very protective stone, especially with negative spirits and negativity. The Scots, dreams, a financial boost, coming or wishful thinking. I'm going to tell you it's coming. I'm going to tell you it's coming. Your job, remember, like I said, just keep imagining money coming in. That's all. Don't focus in on debt, lack of bills. You focus in on money coming in. Remember, how you focus is going to determine the amount of money that's coming in. So like I said, you imagine more money coming in, the more money will start coming in. So it sounds simplistic. Everything I do is simple. Nothing I do is complex. Keep it simple. So, okay. My ear has been ringing on and off for weeks. Normal, especially when you go through an awakening. I know not yesterday, but the day before, about 9:30 a.m. I'll tell you, my ears, we had a huge shift. And I know that you guys probably even noticed it too, but that one rocked my boat, because that one almost knocked me off my chair. So that was a pretty big shift that we have. So a lot of times, if you guys follow me on Facebook, I'll say something like, holy shift. But that's why it shifted. And then I knew the next day was going to be a weird one. So I knew yesterday was going to be weird. Curtis was there at work with me. And I'm like, today's going to be a weird day. And he goes, oh, you think? I'm like, yep. So it was. Being an empath, how do I choose a partner? Sarah, that's a good question. Well, one thing I'm going to tell you is, let's not choose the crazy one, okay? Let's not choose the crazy one, and don't choose the narcissist. Those are the two that, like, you're going to be attracted like a moth to a damn flame to. No. So I want you to find another empath, because if two empaths are together, the worst that's going to happen is they can't decide on where the hell they're going to eat. That's it. So that's my find an empath. Todd, do you see my family and I moving within a year or so? Actually, a little bit sooner. So yes, I do. Will I get the job I applied for yesterday? Tracy, thank you very much. Yes, actually you will. But you're up for competition. It's you and another person. So it depends on that interview. Nail it. So go in confident. Confident is that solar plexus. You're going to walk around like, how do we call that? The Power Man pose. Hands on hip, walk around. You do that for 10 minutes. That opens up your solar plexus, gives you self-confidence. So that's how we're going to start the day. Then you'll nail it. All right? I believe in you. You got this. Considering starting a business, insights. Do your research, Emily. Do your research. The biggest thing that I tell people is that if you're going to start a business, you treat it like a damn business. Don't treat it like a hobby. If you treat it like a hobby, it will fail. Every time it will fail. You treat it like a business, okay? So that's the biggest thing I can tell you is I'm all for entrepreneurs. Love it. I love small business owners. That's my thing. I love to help them out. But if you treat it like it's a hobby and you do not charge your worth, you will fail. And then you got to know your weaknesses. If you're not good at accounting, hire that shit. You ain't good at marketing, hire that shit. Or educate yourself. You can't, in today's age now, you can't be dumb. Sorry, you can't play the dumb card on me when we've got YouTube, books. There's so much material out there for you to educate yourself. Don't be dumb and be like, well, I don't know anything about accounting, and then not do anything about it. That's a business fail right there. So the biggest thing is educate yourself on the things that you need to educate yourself on, but also know when you can kind of get some help with other stuff too, okay? Christina, yes, you are in the right field. Absolutely, yes. As hard as it might be, yes. Oh, Jessica's giving me some love. Hi, Jess. Dominique, I'm sensitive to caffeine as well. So I can only have 1 cup of coffee, and I have to have it in the morning. If I have any caffeine past 6:30, I'm up all night. So the more sensitive you get, the more intuitive you get, the more sensitive you will be to food, drinks, things like that. So that's normal. It really is. After these types of things, are you completely exhausted or energized? Believe it or not, Emily, I get energized. It's kind of weird because when I have this much spirit around me, it does nothing more than amp me up. So sometimes it makes it a little difficult to sleep. So that's why Kelly has a little cocktail, because I won't be able to sleep if I don't. So because it really does amp me up. Okay. And by the way, just because I have a drink doesn't make me any less spiritual. Somebody told me that the other day. I'm like, what? I'm like, if you want to judge me because I have a cocktail once in a while, you go right ahead. I'm like, go ahead and do your strict vegan diet and meditate every day and do all that shit. I'm human. I'm sorry. I want to enjoy life. I'm not going to sit there and deny myself a damn hot dog if I want a hot dog and a drink. So that doesn't make anybody any less spiritual. So don't think that that has to be the pillar or where you got to be. That's bullshit. Don't believe it. Okay. When will I buy a new house, Michelle? Oh, that was a weird one, because here's why it's weird is that, and don't quote me, but if the housing market's going to take a shit, it's going to start about Christmas. So if you want to wait until after Christmas to go ahead and do that, that'd be smarter. So, but I really think the housing market's going to take a big dump here. And so is the economy is going to kind of slow down here a little bit. I'm guessing, honestly, about Christmas time. So, and that is pretty close to that. So, Kim, you're in that same boat. I'm going to say January for you. Emily, podcast? Hell yes, please. Yes, yes. Marie, can a ghost or spirit that decides not to cross over hold other ghosts or spirits from crossing over? If they have enough energy, Marie, yes, it's possible. Yes, it is possible. The Velisca house is a perfect example of that. Yes, it's possible. Dallas, my sister's struggling with school. Consider that she isn't smart enough for her major. Is she on the right path? Ooh, yes, but just because she doesn't pull all A's doesn't mean that she's not smart enough. That's when I'm like, well, that's the dumbest shit I heard. Just get the damn degree. That's all that matters. No employer ever asks you, oh, I'd like to see your GPA. That's bullshit. They just want to know that you're damn qualified. That's all. Just tell her to keep going with it, but let go of that perfectionism issue that she has to be straight A or straight B. She shouldn't be comparing herself to other people. Nobody should. Nobody should. That's just bad. Compare yourself to other people? Hell no. Everybody's unique and different in their own way. That's why God made you that way. Your job is to figure out what the hell makes you unique, stands out, and go do that. So, okay. Kendra, yes, you're going to get that admin job. I like that job for you. That's going to be an awesome job. Christine, I have 2 things left to submit for my application into Sonora Free School. Right move. Yes, it is, Christine. I love that for you. I think that's like ultrasound techie, kind of, sort of, or x-ray techie. That suits you very well. I love that for you, actually. The other thing is, if you end up getting in a clinic, I like that too. Hospital, meh, you can start there, but ultimately clinic is the hell yes that I want to see you in. Kayla, I wake up numerous times night feeling confused and exhausted. That's normal with a spiritual awakening. Absolutely normal with a spiritual awakening, okay? Sometimes I'm allergic to cats, and sometimes is this a past life thing? No, it's not. Remember, the higher you vibe, the less tolerant you are with things. That's why I'm like, you will develop allergies the higher you get. You will. I'm allergic to like red dye number 40. I'm allergic to like MSG, any preservatives. Good God, that kills me. So like I can't do a frozen pizza to save my life anymore. So, but yes, that's quite possible. So, okay. What should I do to further my music career next year? Christian, market yourself. Market yourself. Don't be afraid to do some damn videos and market for yourself. I'm telling you, the music industry is brutal. It is brutal. So is TV and entertainment. It is brutal. But you market yourself. You make yourself unique. Find that unique niche of yours and exploit it. Absolutely. But the biggest thing is nobody's gonna get you out there better than you. So use YouTube to your advantage. We have social media nowadays. It's so much easier to become who you want to become. So use it to your advantage. Husband's been interviewing a lot, never gets any job offers. What's holding him back, CJ? Because he doesn't want to do it. Point blank, he doesn't want to do it. So let's find him something that he really wants to do, not something that he has to do because of the money. So that's my going, he doesn't want to do it, and it's clearly written all over his face. So therefore, he needs to find something that he's actually excited about, not just something that's good to pay for the bills. So Emily, you're welcome. Marie, I had a dream about a lion killing me. Very vivid. What could this mean? Marie, I'm going to tell you to look that one up. So because dreammoods.com, they have an app for that. I love that app. So make sure to look that up. Most likely, it's because your self-confidence and your self-worth needs to be worked on, and you feel also attacked with a coworker. So that kind of goes hand in hand. But make sure that you look it up on Dream Moods, and I'm sure that's going to make sense to your reality. All right. Okay. I'm going to try to do as many as I can. Will I find my orphan kitten a forever home? Yes, you will, and it won't take long. So. Christine's been very emotional with work-life balance, struggling lately. You know, Christine, if you need to take a break, take a break. I will tell you that the healer needs healed too. I just got back from a trip in Florida. I legit went to my husband. I'm like, need a timeout. I need a timeout. And if I don't get a timeout, I'm going to hit the damn ceiling. So I legit booked a trip, got the hell out of here. I'm like, I need a break. I need a mental brain break. So if you feel like you're struggling with that whole balance, every girl does it. Every woman will struggle with this. Men do too, but every woman will struggle with the work-life balance. But know your limits. If you feel like you're exhausted and you can't clean the house, find somebody to help you clean the house. That is not you being a failure. You're better off getting somebody to scrub your damn floors for 2 hours and clean your house than spending the time with your children. That's more important. So it's time management. Time management. And I want you to look at what you're willing to let go and what you're willing to gain. But it's more or less time management for us ladies, because we're having to be the wife, the mom, the work, and self. And you've got to be able to balance that out. And if you can't, take a time out, go chill. Take time out for you. You need to. Okay. Christina, yes, you will get foster kids, especially next year. Linda wants to adopt as well. Linda, you're later in the year next year. Casey's having and so your friend Casey, who's having struggle having a child, again, you could give her a gift. So anything to open up this sacral chakra, which is like carnelian, Tourmaline, agate, things that will have to open up that sacral chakra. Those are great gifts. Also, like those hearts too. We sell a lot of hearts. Those are good gifts anyway. And then the biggest thing is just be there as a friend. Just keep encouraging her and just let her know, you know what, it's on God's time. And we know it's God's time, and that doesn't help when they're not pregnant. But at the same time, talk to them about the relationship, because if a girl is infertile, 9 times out of 10, you have to look at the dad, because the dad was not there for them when between the ages of 14 and 18, which are very crucially developmentally, we need our dads. So that helps to develop the uterus. So I would say go back to that time between the age of 14 and 18 and see if there's any trauma there, and talk about it. All right. So that really does help a lot. Do you see me getting far spirituality 2020? Yes, Gina, I do. 2020 is a big year for spirituality. Yes, and yes, and yes, and yes, and yes, and yes, and yes. Okay. One more. Her dad passed away from suicide, hence the infertility issues. So the biggest thing is that maybe she needs to understand the why of dad did this. So let's dig this a little bit deeper and see why dad committed suicide. Most than likely, he had a toxic relationship with his mother. So, Corey, will things start looking up for our family? I truly believe our house drains us and ties us to negativity, pain, and sadness. Could that be possible? You know, Corey, it is possible. I will tell you that I have a lady who can, and I have her card there at Awakenings, but I have a lady specifically that does an excellent job of going into people's houses and saging. And the way she does it is damn magical, okay? Because I'll tell you, once a year I have somebody come in and sage my house, because doing it myself isn't always the best. It's kind of like healing myself. Sometimes you need some help. So it might be time to maybe get a professional in there to go and cleanse the home. And I think that would be excellent. So her name is Amanda. I'll give you, if you come into Awakenings, we have her card. So that's something that I recommend that maybe might need to be done. So that way you feel a little bit more comfortable in your home. And then Hillary, yes, you will. Yes, you will. But remember, it has to be the right time. So don't get too discouraged, because your guides are going to show you the money when it's time. So, all right, guys. Last one, Rachel. My daughter saw something today, told me that she wants her grave to look like that. She is only 7. This scared me. They're not necessarily, might be past life impression. So like I said, sometimes they say things off the whim and then they forget what they said. So I'd let that one just roll. So, okay, guys, this is called Real Talk. Like I said, I'm going to try to do this again next month. Again, this is more like I said, really talking about, as a life coach, how I can get you back on track and how we can talk about certain issues and how they're related to that mind, body, soul complex. So I would love for you guys to join me, like I said, on Sunday from 2 to 4. This is all new for me, selling crystals online. So we're also going to have a lot of specials. So, and they're only going to be available during that time. So I'm trying to talk to Eric to see if maybe we can keep the sale up a little bit longer, but it doesn't look like we can. So, but like I said, 2 to 4 Sunday, tune in. You might get some really good specials and deals on crystals. And of course, I'll explain how the crystals work, what to do, why to use them, all that good stuff. So again, thanks guys so much for watching. I really appreciate this. So thanks for giving me the opportunity. You guys take care and have a wonderful weekend. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.